Rejection. We've all been there, whether in relationships, friendships, or everyday social encounters. But here's the key thing. Rejection doesn't define you. What really matters is how you respond to it. The pain of rejection is not in the event itself, but in how we choose to interpret it. In today's video, we'll dive into how to transform rejection into a tool for growth, how it can help you build resilience, elevate your confidence, and lead you toward the right relationships and opportunities. Whether you're facing rejection in dating or navigating tough social dynamics, we'll offer insights to help you turn setbacks into strength. And if you're looking for more wisdom on resilience, self-mastery, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Code channel. Let's journey together towards a life of strength and purpose. 1. Allow yourself to feel the pain. When rejection hits, it can feel like an emotional gut punch. The first instinct for many is to bury those feelings or pretend they don't exist. But here's the truth. Suppressing emotions doesn't make you stronger. It only prolongs the pain. In fact, allowing yourself to truly feel the sting of rejection is the first step toward healing and growth. Think about it this way. Emotions are like waves in the ocean. If you try to outrun them, they'll only crash harder when they catch up. But if you stand firm and let them wash over you, they eventually recede. The same goes for emotional pain. By acknowledging the hurt, frustration, or even anger that comes with rejection, you're not wallowing in self-pity. You're accepting reality. And from this place of honesty, you can begin to process your emotions and let them go. In Stoic philosophy, emotions are natural, but what matters is how we handle them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, constantly reminded himself to accept things as they are, not as he wished they could be. Rejection offers a similar lesson. It's okay to feel hurt. It's human. But don't allow that hurt to define your future actions or self-worth. Give yourself space to reflect and heal, whether through journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or simply sitting with your feelings. This process of emotional acknowledgement is like cleaning a wound. It might sting, but it's the only way to truly start healing. Remember, you're not broken because of rejection. You're simply experiencing a natural human reaction to an uncomfortable situation. By feeling the pain fully, you prepare yourself to let it go, making room for strength, resilience, and a clearer understanding of your worth moving forward. 2. Avoid the blame game. When rejection strikes, one of the most common reactions is to dive into a spiral of what-ifs and self-blame. What if I had been more confident? What if I had said something different? Maybe if I looked a certain way, they wouldn't have rejected me. This type of thinking is not only unproductive, it's toxic. Here's the reality. Rejection doesn't mean you're inadequate. It means that, for whatever reason, things didn't align in that moment. The danger in blaming yourself is that it starts to erode your self-confidence and self-worth, making you view rejection as a reflection of your value as a person. But that's not true. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. The other person's decision to reject you falls into the latter category. You have no control over their preferences, their circumstances, or their past experiences, all of which play a significant role in their decision. Trying to dissect every moment of your interaction, looking for where you went wrong, is like trying to catch smoke, frustrating and impossible. Instead of blaming yourself, focus on what you can control, your reaction and your perspective. Maybe the rejection wasn't about you at all. Maybe they weren't ready for a relationship, or maybe they're dealing with their own issues. If you start internalizing every no as a reflection of your inadequacies, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of insecurity. So the next time you face rejection, take a deep breath and remind yourself that it's not about changing who you are to fit someone else's ideal. It's about staying true to yourself and recognizing that not every connection is meant to be. Blame and self-doubt only hold you back, while acceptance and self-confidence push you forward. 3. Practice self-compassion. When rejection hits, many people turn their frustration inward, beating themselves up for not being good enough. But here's the key. You need to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend going through a similar situation. This is where self-compassion comes in. Self-compassion means recognizing that you are worthy of kindness, even when things don't go your way. It's about giving yourself grace in moments of pain instead of piling on criticism. Think about how you'd comfort a friend who's just been rejected. Would you tell them they weren't attractive enough, smart enough, or funny enough? Of course not. You'd reassure them that the rejection wasn't a reflection of their worth and encourage them to stay positive. You deserve the same level of care. It's important to understand that rejection is part of life. It doesn't mean you're unworthy of love, success, or happiness. Instead of turning rejection into a personal attack on your value, view it as a neutral event, a bump in the road that everyone encounters. Self-compassion helps you navigate these bumps with resilience and dignity. Practicing self-compassion also means recognizing that you're not alone in experiencing rejection. This is a shared human experience. It happens to everyone, from the most successful people to those just starting out in life. So instead of feeling isolated in your pain, realize that rejection is a universal challenge, and it's okay to take a step back, show yourself some love, and move forward at your own pace. 4. Learn from the experience. Rejection offers one of life's greatest opportunities for growth, if you're willing to learn from it. While it's natural to feel defensive or hurt after being turned down, there's value in reflecting on the situation objectively. This doesn't mean obsessing over what you did wrong, but rather looking for areas where you can grow or improve. Think of every rejection as feedback. It's like a course correction, guiding you closer to the right path or person. Maybe you realize that your communication style needs work, or that you've been overlooking red flags in relationships. Or perhaps the rejection simply reinforced that you weren't compatible with that person or situation in the first place. A key part of Stoic philosophy is the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. This means embracing everything that happens, good or bad, as part of your journey. Instead of resenting rejection, view it as an essential part of shaping who you are. Every no brings you closer to the right yes. Self-awareness is crucial in this process. Take time to analyze the situation. What can you take away from the experience? Were there signs that things weren't aligning from the start? By learning from rejection, you transform it from a negative event into a valuable stepping stone toward personal development and future success. Remember, rejection doesn't close doors. It opens them. It redirects you toward people, opportunities, and experiences that are better suited for you. So next time you face rejection, don't just move on, move forward, carrying the lessons with you as tools for growth. 5. Keep perspective. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that one rejection defines your future. You might believe that because one person turned you down, it's a sign that you're doomed to a life of loneliness or failure. This couldn't be further from the truth. Keeping perspective means understanding that rejection is only a small piece of your broader journey, not the whole story. Think about it. Rejection is part of being human. Everyone from world-renowned leaders to your next-door neighbor has faced rejection in some form, whether in relationships, career pursuits, or personal goals. The difference between those who thrive and those who get stuck isn't that one group avoids rejection. It's that they maintain perspective and understand that rejection is temporary. One of the most powerful tools you have is your mindset. If you view rejection as a catastrophic event that will define your future, then it will. But if you see it as a temporary setback that can be learned from, you'll emerge stronger and more resilient. It's all about how you choose to frame the experience. In Stoicism, there's a strong emphasis on the idea of impermanence, that nothing lasts forever, not even rejection. The Stoics believed that it's not the events of life that disturb us, but how we perceive them. So if you let one rejection shatter your confidence or derail your life, you're giving that rejection too much power. It's just a moment in time, not a reflection of your entire worth. To keep perspective, it's essential to remember that life is full of opportunities. One rejection doesn't close all doors. In fact, it might be clearing the way for something better suited to you. It's also important to remind yourself of past successes, times when things worked out, or when rejection led to a better outcome. This helps you see that rejection is just one part of the bigger picture, not the defining moment of your life. By maintaining perspective, you protect your self-worth and ensure that rejection doesn't hold you back. It becomes just another stepping stone on the path to your goals, not a roadblock. 6. Rediscover yourself. Rejection often forces you to look inward, especially if it comes after the end of a significant relationship or a long-term pursuit. When we're deeply invested in someone or something, it's easy to lose sight of who we are outside of that connection. Rediscovering yourself is one of the most powerful steps you can take after facing rejection. Relationships, especially romantic ones, have a way of becoming central to our identities. We start thinking of ourselves in terms of we rather than me. While this is natural, it can sometimes mean that when the relationship ends, we're left feeling untethered. This is the perfect moment to ask, who am I outside of this relationship? What are my passions, goals, and values? This period of rediscovery is your opportunity to reconnect with the parts of yourself that might have been overshadowed. Did you give up hobbies, goals, or friendships to invest in the relationship? Now's the time to revisit them. Think of this phase not as a loss, but as a rebirth, a chance to rebuild your sense of self, stronger than before. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and how we spend our time. Use this time to cultivate new skills, invest in your physical and mental health, and pursue passions that ignite your spirit. By rediscovering yourself, you create a solid foundation that's not dependent on external validation. The beauty of this process is that it makes you more attractive, not just in future relationships, but to yourself. You become confident, self-assured, and content with who you are, independent of anyone else's opinion. This sense of self-discovery and growth turns rejection into a positive force in your life, helping you evolve into the best version of yourself. 7. Avoid the blame game. Blaming yourself or the other person for the rejection might feel cathartic in the short term, but it's ultimately a dead-end street. Playing the blame game locks you into a cycle of negativity that does nothing to improve your situation or future prospects. To truly move forward after rejection, it's essential to drop the blame and adopt a mindset of acceptance and growth. When we're rejected, our brains often go into overdrive, searching for reasons why things didn't work out. You might find yourself blaming external factors. It's because I don't have the right job, or they just weren't serious enough. On the flip side, you may turn the blame inward. If only I were funnier, more attractive, or more successful, they would have stayed. But both approaches miss the bigger picture. The reality is, rejection is complex. People's decisions are based on countless factors, many of which you can't control. Maybe they weren't in the right place emotionally. Maybe your personalities didn't mesh in a way that could sustain a long-term relationship. Blame oversimplifies what is often a nuanced situation, and in doing so, prevents you from gaining any real insight or growth. Instead of focusing on blame, practice acceptance. Accept that rejection is a part of life, and that sometimes things don't work out through no fault of anyone involved. This mindset not only frees you from bitterness and resentment, but also opens up space for learning. Instead of asking, "Whose fault is this?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" By avoiding the blame game, you protect your mental health and ensure that rejection doesn't leave lasting emotional scars. You also pave the way for healthier future interactions, free from the baggage of past blame and regret. In the end, this mindset shift leads to greater resilience and personal empowerment. 8. Seek professional help if needed. While many people can process rejection on their own, sometimes the emotional weight is too much to bear alone. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle of sadness, anger, or hopelessness, it might be time to seek professional help. There's no shame in asking for support, and in fact, it can be one of the most powerful steps toward healing. Therapy or counseling provides a safe space to explore your feelings, gain new perspectives, and develop coping strategies. A therapist can help you identify patterns in your thinking that may be holding you back, like a tendency to internalize rejection as a reflection of your worth, and provide tools to break those cycles. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we are responsible for our minds, but even the most self-aware Stoic would agree that there are times when seeking external guidance is necessary. Just as you'd see a doctor for a physical ailment, it's important to recognize when emotional or mental pain needs professional attention. Professional help is not just for people facing extreme situations. Even if you feel relatively okay, but notice that rejection is consistently affecting your self-esteem or outlook on life, talking to someone can make a significant difference. Therapy isn't about fixing you. It's about helping you understand yourself better so you can navigate life's challenges more effectively. In addition, professional guidance can help you avoid unhealthy coping mechanisms like rebound relationships, substance abuse, or emotional withdrawal. Instead, a therapist can help you develop healthy habits that build resilience, self-compassion, and emotional strength. Ultimately, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you are committed to growing and becoming the best version of yourself, even in the face of life's challenges. Rejection, whether romantic, social, or professional, is an unavoidable part of life, but how we respond to it makes all the difference. While the initial sting of rejection can feel personal and painful, it's important to remember that it does not define your worth or predict your future. Instead, it presents an opportunity for growth, reflection, and self-discovery. By allowing yourself to feel the pain without letting it consume you, you demonstrate emotional maturity. When you refuse to blame yourself or others and instead practice self-compassion, you shift from a victim mindset to one of empowerment. Each rejection can teach you valuable lessons about yourself, whether it's identifying areas for personal development or simply realizing that you're closer to finding the right people and opportunities that align with who you are. Keeping perspective allows you to see rejection not as an end, but as a redirection. It frees you from the burden of feeling like a failure and encourages you to focus on what lies ahead. By rediscovering yourself, especially after the end of a meaningful relationship or pursuit, you reconnect with your core values, passions, and goals. This process of self-discovery strengthens you and makes you more attractive, not just to others, but to yourself. Seeking professional help when needed is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Sometimes the emotional impact of rejection can be deep, and having someone guide you through it can be a game changer. Professional support allows you to process your emotions in a healthy way, helping you emerge stronger and more resilient. In the end, rejection is a stepping stone on the path to success, both in relationships and in life. As Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control rejection, but you can control how you respond to it. Let it be the fire that forges you into a more confident, self-assured, and emotionally resilient person. So, the next time you face rejection, don't shrink from it. Embrace it as part of the journey. Hold your head high, thank the experience for its lessons, and move forward, knowing you're one step closer to the relationships and life you truly deserve. And as always, subscribe to the Stoic Code channel, where we explore life's challenges through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Let's grow stronger together.